If you've ever tried to trade a wild market, it can feel like pure chaos. Price rips up, dumps down, and your classic RSI or stochastic either lags or flips signals so fast you stop trusting it. The core problem is simple. Volatility changes, but most tools don't. They're built around fixed levels that go stale as soon as the market speeds up or slows down. Today, we're going deep into a tool that actually adapts, the Range Oscillator, Zeiierman. It's designed to show how far price has moved from its equilibrium range, not from some static overbought, oversold line. Under the hood, it uses adaptive range detection plus a color heat map to turn raw volatility into a clear pressure gauge you can read at a glance. We're going to set this up on TradingView. If you want to use the exact same layout as me, there's a link in the description where you can sign up. Open a clean chart of GBP/JPY on the 15-minute time frame. Then click Indicators, type Range Oscillator, Zeiierman, and add it. You'll see a separate panel below price with a wavy line and a colored band that flips between green, blue, maroon, and red. Before we touch the settings, let's decode what you're seeing. The white center line is the equilibrium mean. Above it is bullish territory, below it is bearish. The scale usually runs around plus 100 to minus 100, but because the whole thing is normalized, a reading of plus 50 on GBP/JPY means the same kind of distance from normal as plus 50 on a slow stock. The color band around the line is the heat map. Bright green marks strong bullish pressure, muted green is weaker bullish pressure, blue is a neutral or transition zone, maroon is weak bearish, and bright red is strong bearish pressure. Now the engine. The indicator first builds a dynamic range using two core settings, minimum range length and range width multiplier. Minimum range length is the number of bars it needs before it even says, yes, this is a real range. Think of it as the minimum sample size. Range width multiplier then expands or shrinks that range based on ATR, the average true range, which is just a standard way to measure how much price normally moves per bar. Tie the width to ATR and the range automatically widens when GBP/JPY gets crazy and tightens when it calms down. Next, the script calculates a weighted mean instead of a simple moving average. Big candles get more weight than tiny candles, so a huge spike or crash pulls the mean toward it faster than a small drift. That matters because the center of gravity in the market shifts faster after a big event than after a bunch of tiny moves. The range oscillator builds that logic in. Once it has the range and the weighted mean, it turns them into the oscillator value with a simple idea: price distance divided by current range size. In code form, it's basically OSC equals 100 times close minus mean divided by range ATR. That normalization is what makes the readings consistent across assets and regimes. A plus 100 reading always means price is pressing the top of its current volatility band, no matter if you're on GBP/JPY 15-minute or a slow index on the 4-hour. Open the settings so we can tune it. Under Inputs, you'll see minimum range length. This is how many bars are needed to confirm a valid range. Lower values make the oscillator react faster to new conditions but can be noisier. Higher values slow it down and make the range more stable. For intraday GBP/JPY, you can keep the default as a starting point and only tweak it after you've watched a few sessions. Range width multiplier controls how wide the band is relative to ATR. Increase it and the extremes, plus 100, minus 100, become harder to hit, so you see fewer extreme signals. Decrease it and price will tag the boundaries more often, which can be useful if you want more aggressive entries. Again, I'd start with the default and only adjust after you see how often GBP/JPY reaches those edges. Number of heat levels controls how many color steps the heat map uses. Fewer levels give you big, clear blocks of color, red, blue, green. More levels give you a smoother gradient, which can help if you like seeing gradual shifts in pressure. Minimum touches per level decides how much action is required before a color zone locks in. A higher value means the color won't change until price has spent more time in that zone, which makes the heat map slower but more stable. A lower value makes colors react quickly, which is nice for fast scalping but can be jumpy. Now let's talk how to actually use it with GBP/JPY on the 15-minute. First use is trend and momentum confirmation. If you think we're in an uptrend, check the oscillator. When the line sits above zero most of the time and the band is mainly green, the buying pressure really is there. If price looks bullish but the oscillator keeps flipping back to blue or maroon, the move is weaker than it looks, and you might skip chasing breakouts. For downtrends, flip it. Below zero with mostly red or maroon tells you the bears are in control. Second use is range breakouts and volatility shocks. Because the range is dynamic, the plus or minus 100 region marks the edge of what's normal right now. When GBP-JPY's oscillator blasts well above plus 100 with bright green while price is breaking resistance, you are seeing a real expansion move, not just a random spike. The same when it dives below minus 100 in red as support fails. That can signal a breakout that's running hard or an exhaustion push that's almost out of fuel. You still need structure and price action to decide which, but the oscillator tells you this is not normal volatility anymore. Third use is mean reversion. After an extreme, watch what happens when the line bends back towards zero and the color cools into blue. For example, if GBP-JPY dumps, the oscillator might hit minus 140 in bright red. You don't blindly buy that, but if price then stabilizes around a daily support and the oscillator starts climbing back towards zero, shifting from red to blue, that's your heads up that bearish pressure is fading. Combine that with a reversal candle on price and you have a cleaner counter-trend setup aiming for a snapback toward the mean. Fourth use is divergence. Because this thing normalizes for volatility, its peaks and troughs are fairly consistent. If price on GBP-JPY makes a higher high, but the oscillator makes a lower high and the color weakens from bright green to muted green or blue, that's classic bearish divergence. Price is still climbing, but the underlying pressure is fading. The opposite is true for bullish divergence, when price makes a lower low, but the oscillator trough is higher and the color steps from red towards blue or green. You can build a simple checklist around that. For longs, I like seeing the oscillator mostly above zero with green tones or a red extreme coming back through blue while price is sitting on a support. For shorts, I want it mostly below zero with red tones or a green extreme rolling back through blue into a resistance or supply zone. Always line it up with your own levels and candles rather than trading the oscillator alone. One more important point. This indicator and everything we've talked about is for education only. It's not financial advice and not a signal service. All trading carries risk. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. You're fully responsible for your own trades, so always size your positions and set your stops according to your own risk tolerance. The bottom line is this: the range oscillator gives you a volatility-aware view of distance from the mean, wrapped in a color heat map that makes trend, stretch, and transition zones easy to see. If you're tired of indicators that break every time the market speeds up, this is a smart way to bring your analysis back in line with what the market is actually doing right now. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit like, and if you want more deep dives on tools like this, consider subscribing so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching. See you next time.